you do
Yeah.
like a scissor hole with this guy, like trying to get him out of like the addiction of scissor holes.
These storylines for
Yeah.
videos are so much fun. Um, yeah, they're just fun to come up with, to make them. Sometimes I come up with them, but most of the times actually it's either custom videos or guys giving me ideas with their random fantasies. And I've been doing this for a long time now. So I first started with Fight Pulse summer of 2017, so that's like 8 years now.
Mhm.
And I've heard so many crazy fantasies over the years, like you name it, I've heard it. Seriously.
I, I'm I'm assuming like superhero is one of them.
Yeah, yeah, I mean that's nothing too crazy. Pretty
Yeah,
standard one.
yeah, yeah. Like, what kind of fantasies is there? Like real crazy, like out of control fantasies, like you ain't never heard of?
There's been some really out of control fantasies, like really. I don't know, you're gonna stream this on YouTube, so I'm not sure how much I can say, like
Well,
how
just say, don't
words
get too
I can
graphic.
use.
You ain't gotta. Yeah, that. I'm glad you kind of thought about that. But if it's too graphic, I won't go there. But like
Okay.
yeah. But
No,
you
okay.
oh
So there is this one that I really have to share. So I was filming some videos with Uzi. She's another wrestler from Berlin, and this guy was writing, and his script was so lengthy and so crazy. He was like, yeah, you should take a skateboard and then slam it on her head and break the skateboard in two on her head, and then you should get like a big ladder or something, and was it like throw her from the ladder or like slam the ladder on her as well. But then, like, the craziest part was he wanted me to take like a hand mixer, the one that you make like a cream or something with. Um, and he was saying that I should like mix her, pussy, her kitty with that. And I was like, what is this guy on? Like, what kind of drugs are these? Like, this is crazy. Like, this is not some kind of weird Hollywood production, like, even
yeah.
if I wanted to film all of that, like, how am I supposed to film it like safely? This was such a insane request, really.
Yeah, that's something that way past thinking of pervertedness. Like, as far as I could go, I'll probably do like superhero requests, like when the girl beat me up or something, pin me on the floor or something like that. But nothing
Yeah,
too extreme like that. I don't
nothing
got,
crazy, right?
yeah, nah, that's not for me. That I
Yeah.
How do you deal with people like that? I don't know.
How do I deal with them? Mostly either with block button, seriously, or just like ignoring them or whatever, because I'm getting so many emails, so many requests, especially if I publish something that I'm available for customs or that I'm filming on certain days when I have tour dates out and so on. My inbox is absolutely buzzing. And sometimes I would entertain this kind of emails and just for the sake of laugh, for amusement. But most of the times I'm like, oh man, like I don't have time for this. So I have like a special box in my email inbox, like a special tag. It's like, what the fuck? So I usually mark all these emails as like, what the fuck, So sometimes if I'm bored, or if I'm chatting with a friend or whatever, I'm like, oh, let me go into my what the fuck tab, and like I'm gonna read you some of the emails that I got. This is always a fun thing to do, if I want to get some good laughs in or something.
Yeah, that's good. That's good that you do that. Like, you don't take it too seriously. But so you always lived in Berlin, or
No, no, actually, I've been living in Prague before
oh,
Berlin, and I've been living in Prague when I started to do wrestling because Fight Pulse is based in Prague, so this is where I met the producer of Fight Pulse and started doing this. I've been in Berlin for the last 6 years, maybe 7 years, something like that. So yeah, 6 years, I think.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
talking to bodybuilder. Her name is Ivana Davo. I don't know if I'm gonna get the last name, but she's a
Okay.
bodybuilder, and she's from Prague, and she moved there because she didn't really like how she was treated as a female bodybuilder. So
Like she moved away from Prague, you mean, or?
yeah, she moved away from Prague. Like she moved to Germany,
Okay,
maybe
yeah.
the place where you're at, in Berlin or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, between Czech Republic and Germany, I would say that Germany is definitely more open-minded for whatever, especially a place like Berlin. You can't really compare Berlin with the rest of the Germany, really, because Berlin is this crazy open-minded city where everything goes, but
Oh, okay.
you can still go into some smaller towns, smaller places in Germany and find like super traditional, super closed minded people. So it really depends where you are. But I think this is the case with a lot of countries. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
you have like a gymnastic and a ballet background.
Yeah, well, mostly ballet. Actually,
Oh,
when
okay.
I was very, very young, I was a child when I did ballet, and this was going on for a couple of years. So this was my background. But then, like, throughout my teens, I've been in and out of different sports. Nothing held me for longer than 2 years. I played tennis for like 2 years. Then I got into my partying, drinking, and so on phase. And this was going on for quite some time. And then finally, I think I was around 18 ish or something like that, maybe 19, I don't know. um I was like, okay, let's do some fitness and so on, because like I was a bit chubby, a bit overweight at that time, and I was like, okay, I want to lose some weight, let's get into fitness. And then I started getting into fitness, and I got so into it. Like I started loving it. I bulked up and everything. And suddenly all my friends started calling me Rocky. So this was my
Okay.
nickname for some time, especially in uni, when my friends, like my female friends, needed help to carry some heavy stuff. They wouldn't call their guy friends or boyfriends. They would call me to help them out. So
Okay.
that was funny. Yeah. And
Oh,
then
so
I never did really martial arts before. I started with Fight Pulse, and this is where I actually had my first touch, like first introduction to any kind of wrestling, any kind of martial art, which is pretty cool, I think. Because now I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time. I started with Fight Pulse. It was like maybe summer 2017. And then, like, at the end of the year, I started with Jiu Jitsu and sessions around at the same time. So it's always funny when I'm talking with the people, from Jiu Jitsu, from the gym, and they're like, oh, how did you get into Jiu Jitsu? And I'm like, well, it's kind of a funny trajectory that I got into this fetish wrestling and mixed wrestling first, and then I got more seriously, into jiu-jitsu, because usually I think it's the other way around. But yeah.
you did jujitsu first, and then the the
No,
sessions.
first I started with wrestling videos, and then I
Okay.
started with jiu-jitsu and sessions at
Oh,
the same
okay.
time, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, what made you get into that? Like, what was you like fascinated? You wanted to beat people up or something like that, or?
You mean jujitsu specifically, or sessions, or
Sessions,
all of it?
sessions.
Sessions.
Well, well, you can go sessions, jujitsu, and
Yeah.
wrestling videos and stuff.
Yeah, sure. I mean, as I said, I met the producer of Fight Pulse
Oh,
when I was living in Prague, and yeah, we were hanging out. I mean, we actually met on some shooting because I was doing this like small jobs, and I was doing some modeling here and there. And then I got invited to film some female defense videos, and I was like, okay, this sounds interesting. But I was like, yeah, self defense. I don't really have anything to do with this. So the guys were like, yeah, no worries, it's all staged, like we're gonna show you, the moves and everything. And I was like, okay, sounds interesting. And this was some production, I think they were like from Slovakia or something like this.
okay.
uh, it's funny that they never explained to me beforehand that these are actually fetish videos. They were like, oh, let's film some female self-defense videos. So
Yeah,
not
it was.
cool, funny now in retrospect, but not cool, seriously.
I mean,
Uh,
it's entertaining. It's entertaining, but self defense. I mean, but it is. I think it has a combination of fetish but competitiveness.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, definitely. And it was like a lot with there was like a lot of storyline. It wasn't wrestling, it wasn't bikinis, it was like street clothing, and a lot of like storyline, and this like staged moves, kicks, things like this. So it was a fun shooting. But anyways, the Fight Pulse producer was there because he was their friend, to help them out with it, and this is how we met. And then he was telling me about his mixed wrestling production, and being like, oh yeah, you should come over and do some videos with me. He kept telling me that he has a feeling I will be really good at this. And I was still like, yeah, I don't know, like I'm not sure, I don't know anything about this. I was like, he would tell me, yeah, I do mixed wrestling videos, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really know what it means. um, but then I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, okay, why not, let's go and do some videos. After some persuasion, he managed to get me there. And we did like 3 videos on the first day. And it was so exhausting for me because, if you just have like a normal kind of condition where you're doing like fitness or whatever sport, it's quite different from wrestling and jiu-jitsu, because you use some muscles that you were not even aware that you had. So this was really exhausting day for me, but it was really great. I really loved it, and I kept doing it for the next couple of months. And I got a really, really fast progress in this because I think it's because I really loved it. I think that this is the reason why I progressed so quickly and started getting really good, like both technically in wrestling and also with this video, because you do have to put up a little bit of act. I mean, you don't have to, but it's more fun,
yeah.
we don't
I
like
can.
trash talk and whatnot.
Yeah,
um so yeah, then the producer from Fight Pulse again was like, hey, you've gotten really good at this, you have some fans around, which is really great. Why don't you start doing sessions? And then I like, yeah, what sessions do you mean? I was
yeah,
lost. um yeah, I had no idea what he was talking about. And then he explained to me, he showed me the Session Girls website and WB270, now, late website that doesn't exist anymore. And he explained everything, how it works and so on. And I was like, okay, this sounds kind of interesting. Let's give it a shot. Why not? And then I started doing it. It was December 2017 when I did like my first session.
mm,
And I mean, long story short, it really overtook my life since then. I really loved it. I got more and more into it. at first I started with jiu-jitsu with like, oh, okay, let's get better and technical in wrestling, but then I got more and more into jiu-jitsu as a sport and as a hobby as well. There was this woman who was also shooting for fight pulse back then, who was a black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo, and I actually started having like one-on-one trainings just with her in the beginning, and then I started doing like proper jiu-jitsu classes as well. So yeah, this is pretty much how it started, and then like whole 2018, 2019, before COVID, right? I've spent more time traveling than I did at home. I moved to Berlin somewhere at that time, but before COVID started, Berlin was a place where I keep my stuff pretty much and come over once every couple of weeks. I was constantly traveling, always in the new city. I was doing a lot of these session tours. I was like pretty much living on the road. And this was really nice for me because I do love to travel. I am a Sagittarius, we're known for for this. But yeah, joking aside, I really do love to travel, so this was a really good lifestyle for the time. And then COVID hit and everything changed,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I didn't realize that it was a lot of hard work just trying to make a video, like a mixed wrestling video. So you explained it. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
no, I was just gonna like, so how you got used to it? Like, just like you like making videos. Was that a challenge for you, or?
It was a challenge in the beginning, and more that I did it, I built more strength, more endurance, and I exercised more, not just my physical muscle, but also, I guess, my mental and emotional muscle.
Yeah,
Because especially when it comes to sessions, I am often not exhausted physically if I travel and do like a bunch of sessions every day, like days or like sometimes weeks, like nonstop. Um, but I do get like mentally exhausted because it's like a lot of people, a lot of different personalities that come in and out, a lot of people that you have to talk with, entertain, and so on. So usually after a really busy tour, I need like a day or two of, just being completely alone, not talking to anyone, just to recharge that social battery, because I find that more exhausting than the physical aspect of it nowadays. But in the beginning, before my body got conditioned to all this wrestling, it was pretty tough. Like my legs were covered in bruises all the time. I mean, you can see my skin. I am pretty pale and I get bruised easily.
yeah,
And it took my body some time to get used to this, like punches and throwing around and everything, So I don't bruise as much as I used to because my body is used to it now. But yeah, it was a challenge to get used to it in the beginning. But as I said, the more that I've done it, more I got better at this, and now it's pretty cool. Like yesterday, I had 5 hours of sessions, and it was fine. I was just really hungry after it because I only had a breakfast, and then I had like 5 hours of sessions like back to back, and then I was like, oh man, I want to finish with this so I can go and eat already,
yeah.
But physically, it's like, okay, I'm just as tired as if I only did like an hour of training or whatever.
So it's
And
more
also,
like work.
yeah, exactly. And also, not every session is the same. You have guys who book competitive sessions, guys who book semi competitive, domination, different kinds of fantasies, and so on. Some sessions can be really exhausting, can be really competitive, and really like full on training, drenched in sweat, the whole thing. Um, and then some sessions are really chill, where you basically just sit on a guy for a full hour.
Yeah,
get him
that's
to
cool.
kiss your feet and things like this. So it really depends. I also, more than I did it, I've gotten more smart with organizing and scheduling my work and my sessions, especially when I'm on a tour. I am very well organized, with my schedule, with everything. So I usually try to schedule more competitive and like harder sessions in the morning and first part of the day. And then as the day goes on, I try to schedule this domination, fantasy, and like easier sessions for the other part of the day, just so I can save my energy for what I needed the most, right?
Yeah. Did
Yeah.
anybody ever told you like they get off on you watching your videos?
um I'm not sure if they told me like this straight in my face. They probably
Yeah.
did. I just forgot about this or
Oh,
something. I mean, people write about that to me all the time, especially since I started to do loyal fans much more, like I get all kinds of messages in there. Um, so yeah, like I at least read it on pretty regular basis if I don't hear it. So yeah.
no, I mean, because I be looking at it and I just get, me personally, I get aroused, especially like you put somebody like in a sizzle or they
Yeah.
like sit on your face. I've
Yeah.
experienced that a little bit. So yeah, so
Oh, have
yeah,
you ever had a session?
yeah. I've had sessions in here in New York. Yeah, I've had
Okay, nice.
sessions. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, like
Yeah, I mean, it's sensual videos. Yeah, it's fetish videos after all. Like some of them can be like really sporty and so on, but you still have this fetish element in this. So, um, yeah, I would be surprised if you told me that like nobody gets off on these videos, because
yeah.
why the hell am I making them, right?
I mean, like it's there for a reason.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, I tried. There's times I gotta fall back because as soon as I'll like purchase like a video from Clifford Sales, and it's like it's a wrap. If I feel like a bit aroused, if I like if it's entertaining for me, I'm
Yeah.
like wow, it can be addictive. So that's why I gotta fall back and just like I don't want to get too much videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do
Nice.
you have like a favorite like match? Are there
Uh,
matches that you like?
Favorite match that I ever did, like
Yeah,
that I
that
ever.
you like or you enjoy doing? Was there like somebody that because I know you wrestled with Lana Lexar. Um
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't never seen that match, but yeah, how
Yeah.
was that?
That was really great. Lana is a sweetheart of the mats, and she's not such a sweetheart when we're on the mats and camera
Yeah,
is
I can
rolling.
imagine. Yeah.
Yeah, but we made some really cool videos. The energy was really fun. There was like a lot of good vibes, I would say. And I love when because, I love trash talking quite a lot through my videos, and I like to have this like little back and forth thing going on. It just makes things more interesting, and it's always nice when the other person is like this, like that as well, so it's not just me talking to a wall or something, and Lana loves trash talking also, so I think that our back and forth trash talk was really fun throughout the match, so this was really really great. But if you ask me what is the favorite match I ever did, I can't really pick any
Yeah.
favorites. There have been so many great matches over the years. There's quite a few really great ones that I did with Fight Pulse. Obviously, the fight with Zoe is one of my favorites because this fight has happened over 6 years ago. And to this day, I am still getting emails and messages on my social media about this fight. And I still have guys reaching out and asking, "Oh, are you ever going to do a rematch? We would love to see this." So this match was really great. There have been other matches. I think that the little rivalry I had with Frank from Fight Pulse was also pretty cool because in the beginning, Frank got to like win in some matches, and then we